was very confused.
What kind of bird is that? Michael, that's a horse. What kind of bird is that? Michael, that's your mother. Oh. Hello, Blurred. You're early. So I have something I actually need to do on here. Yeah, okay. So I had done all the animating here, and it bothered me that there's no bone for the front hair, but there is now. Or at least there should be. I should have checked what the name of that model was. Once it loads. Where is it then? There it is. Ah, okay. I forgot that was just like a separate model. That makes it so much easier. So I'm gonna see how this works. There is 2 bones. Wow, thank you, Bard. You are my best internet friend. Is this gonna break something? This is gonna be interesting because I gotta remember how all this is locked. I don't think there was scaling, but in case there is. How is self-isolation treating you? Okay, just head and transform. I don't have those skirts, but that's fine. I'm actually not going to lock them yet. I'm gonna see if I can get if it has automated motion, and if it does, then I'll do that and then copy over. Yeah, I might. Weekends are still fine, but it's the Monday through Friday. If it wasn't for streams, I'd be more confused. Streams at least tell me when it's either. If the previous day was the weekend, it's Monday. So that's easy. But then Tuesday means if I have to work tomorrow, it's Tuesday. So it's like I'm just and stream. So the stream's what's helping me with it. But still, I feel like I need to get a big digital thing on the wall that's like day 42 of quarantine. It's Tuesday. So I'm gonna unlock this. Okay, that locks correctly. And I'm just gonna 0 this. That looks fine. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna copy to this. It should work. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Actually, I shouldn't actually be copying that. I should be copying these. But I'm guessing that this is their visible bones. Okay. And this is gonna bug me. I gotta fix something. I'm doing okay. I didn't mind. Like, I'm an introvert, so I'm used to being inside, but it's getting a little much. But I'm not bothered in that I'm going to be rebellious about it. It's something that needs to be done, so it's fine. It's just the no matter how big the walls are you have, if either walls exist, they always feel like they get smaller day by day. So I want to grab. No, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Oh, it's under CFG. That's what I'm doing wrong. Okay. So, I'm gonna find jiggles.
I did order some masks today.
So what?
Masks.
But I have my one.
I mean, if you want to use your furry one and show your pride.
No, that's what I said. Just turn it around.
It's fine. You can use it if you want. This just means I'll have 2 masks. They were like $4 a piece.
And when are they supposed to get here?
Like a week from now.
Oh, from Amazon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Amazon's prioritizing that stuff. The stuff I ordered about a month ago just stated that, or no, about 3 weeks ago, stated that they're getting ready to ship. But it was non-essential stuff, so
yeah.
I'm not going to complain about it.
The one thing I got that you might want is something called ear savers. It keeps the mask off your ears, the straps. Because I would wear it on the back of my ears.
Yeah, but how long are you going to wear it?
Probably to the store. That's about it.
Yeah, I know, which means to me that you're not going to wear it to the point of rashing if it's going to be like 20, 30 minutes in the store.
Hello, Blur. They were like $3 a piece. So. Those might take a little longer. I just got those off Etsy.
Oops. I'm very picky when it comes to having duplicate ability.
You really got in a bit of an accident on the way home.
Don't do that.
Ice under a bridge. I slid on the ice.
It's spring. There's no ice out there.
Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Don't look outside. But it was just under a bridge where it was colder, I guess. And I hit the ice.
You had no sun.
Yeah, I hit the ice and went sliding. And then I got out to the road. It was fine again. But the line, because there was a stoplight, was right there. And now I was at the back of it. So I put on my emergencies to try to warn people coming up to the ice. Some guy came up right behind me. Didn't bother to heed warning my lights were putting off. He hit the ice and nearly slammed me.
Today was a weird day that, like, I looked outside and I'm like, oh, it's sunny. And then, like, 5 minutes later, it was a blizzard. Mm-hmm. And then, like, 5 minutes after that, it was sunny again. Mm-hmm. And then it was blue sky. Like, I'm like, where did that come from? And then, like, a couple minutes later, like I said, it's a blizzard again. Mm-hmm. And, like, what? I need to stop looking out my window. I'm just going to look out when it's sunny and then never take my eyes off it.
This is the way it's been, like, the last couple days. It's supposed to get warmer starting tomorrow.
Yeah, we've been going back and forth between freezing temps and, well, we've still been sitting just below freezing, but only for like a little bit, and then it jumps up again. So we've had some days that are nice and room temperature, and ones that are a lot colder. So that's not too bad though. I'm not complaining. It's
you don't have to go outside. When was the last time you were outside?
When I was with you outside this weekend.
Wow.
It was 3 days ago.
Feels like it was longer.
Okay, so let's see how these bones work. Good. That should actually work really well. Is this still at the tip? Yeah. Well, there's going to be a little... Is there a dead spot there? There's a little bit of a dead spot right here that there's not going to be any bending, but that's fine. It's not about... It's mainly about just having it shift, not even like flop or anything. It's just about having it feel disconnected from the head.
Are you still working with the same bones? Are you still working with the same bones you started with?
Nope, these ones are new.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Did you add them or did the
modeler made it?
Okay, cool. You said something, I take it.
I just mentioned it to Prince, and he just went and talked with the guy, and because I'm not thinking about now, whatever, we can get away with it. Maybe just say she had extra hair gel or something, but in the future, for stuff that they want to do, it's going to need some kind of a motion. Otherwise, anything with fast motion is going to have hair that's static, and that would be really weird. The other thing I'm unsure about is you can have the hair like this, but say that she's moving forward very fast. What do you do with the hair?
Should be whipping behind her.
Okay. So
kind of works.
If you have a shot that's going to be zoomed in, it's going to be a bit rough. It can probably work, but it is going to be a little weird. Probably you could do, you turn it down to here, and then you use this bone to turn it up.
Thing is, I don't know any situation in which Celestial would be running. If she's wanting to get away fast, she'd teleport.
So you can do something like this, but it still be a little weird. That's why, like, when I had to do Rainbow Dash in this one, Falling. She's this has got kind of a comb line there, but that's just her hair, and a separate model with her hair put on, flipped and locked to her head, so that it's locked and just shooting her hair backwards. And then I took the textures and I swapped the red and the yellow so that it still had the red on the same side as all the other times, because she was supposed to have red on the left. So I just swapped the texture so that it was still red on the left. And it worked out actually amazingly well, but the problem with a lot of these models is you can't just, like, I had to alpha out a lot of stuff to hide it. I can't alpha out eyes. It's a separate type of texture, and if you change the type, you have to go to the base file. Well, if I change the base file, I'm changing Rainbow Dash in that shot. So I instead used Rainbow Dash's Recolor Daring Do, which is just basically a tan version of Rainbow Dash with black and white hair, and just replaced it with the Rainbow Dash's hair, and it actually worked out great. So she's got Daring Do in her head. But I had to make a modification of the model to make that work, because I didn't know how am I going to make the hair look right going forward so fast. So there'd be kind of an issue, I think, later with that. It actually can work, I think, like this. But it will, and if you have to swap the two, normally that would be like, I think, a fast motion change, and you probably wouldn't even notice it. So, especially since we're running in, I think, we're running in 24. Yeah, we're running in 24 FPS, which means it's definitely going to be hidden. Go right away, shiny.
No.
So now the part that is kind of annoying. I have 3 bones of hair that have motion that I need to add, but I can cheat it. So first off, if I add, or if I go like I were to lock to the top of her head and I did this, would that be an... I don't think... Oh, that actually might be enough. I'm going to have to probably add more to this one. Okay, and then what happens if I turn it this way? It's kind of going off her head. So is it going to be on this bone? I'm thinking I'm going to use this one. It's going to have a little bit of a clip on the nose there, but anytime there's a clip, I can just go and edit it a little. And I don't even think it would have to do that much. Like I said, it's not about whipping the hair around. It's just about adding it so it looks disconnected. So I'm going to cheat this though. So when she goes down like this, I'm just going to have the hair churn up. I think it starts a little earlier than it should.
Spicy.
Hmm?
Stuff's spicy.
Okay. There we go. We'll take her hair and we'll... It's okay to have it get or clip a nose because this is going to be mistimed.
Was it always laying across her nose?
Hmm?
Was it always laying that far out?
It's always been laying like this.
Seems longer.
That already feels so much better. Okay, and I'll have it just keep going just a teeny bit. There's a little bit of a motion up, but I don't think I have to really do too much with that. This one, though, she definitely goes up that direction. The default for a lot of these motions is the ease in, ease out with and the first fade, and then the quick on the or the outro, I guess. A lot of it is because this motion is usually combining with the previous motion, which already has like a hard cut, and if I do two hard cuts, it's going to be kind of jagged. So I do an easy transition in and then a quick transition out because of how if something goes and moves to something, it's going to have a little bit of a... It's not going to be smooth and wavy. It's going to go quick there and then just kind of stop or slow down. This one I'm going to put a little bit more emphasis in that direction.
I feel like that hair would tickle her nose. She would just be sneezing.
I've seen people that have the hair that goes down like to here.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they're sneezing all the time.
Well, and actually, I'm going to be getting to that soon.
Hair blew ways off.
Well, because
you start looking at that kid from The Ring, I'll say so.
My hair has this weird thing it does where as soon as it gets to about the length that it does right about here, it'll just do a 90-degree bend, and it'll just, all of it will start bending completely to the side. It's really weird. It's like I have prehensile hair at that point.
My hair is weirder if I let it get long, especially in the back.
It falls out?
No. It starts to curl. That curly hair.
Which, I don't know why, like this. How does the hair at the end know to do that? And if you cut it, why does the new ones wait until it gets to a certain length?
That's one of my biggest questions I've never bothered answering is how does hair know what to do? Like, if you shave off your arm hair, it's going to grow back pretty quick. But then it'll just stop at a certain point.
I don't think...
Like, hair just does that.
I don't think it actually does that. I think I remember hearing somewhere that hair basically continuously grows. It's just that a lot of your hair falls out and the newer ones keep coming up from below, and so it's just the length that you have your hair at is the average of its growth.
Same with the eyebrows. Yeah, but if that's true, then your eyebrow, is it getting to a certain length and then falling out? I mean, if it all fell out like constantly, like if you shaved your eyebrows, they would never grow back the way they were.
No, they would.
I know they would.
They
do. But
there's that myth
it seems
that
like they stop growing at a certain point.
There's that myth that the more you shave, the harder the hair gets, and that was debunked. That wasn't a real thing. So by shaving lots, like kids saying when they shave that they get their stubble to grow thicker back, and like, no, it's just when you're younger you have thinner hair, and as you get older and you're shaving more, you're noticing it's getting thicker, and that's just whatever. But 4 years.
Mystery to me.
Not at all. You haven't even trimmed it.
Are you in college? Because I remember in college I rarely got my hair cut.
Well, no. If it's 4 years, it's because he has a preference for it. It's
a long time.
No, I had a friend that had hair that went down to his butt. Like, he had long hair, but he kept immaculate care of it. So, like, you could, when he had his head down, you could go like this through it, and there wouldn't be a tangle. You could it was no problem. So he I'd asked him about it before, and he said he put a lot of work into it. But he recently actually cut it down quite a bit and then dyed it. Because he likes changing, so he just decided he didn't want to deal with it anymore.
I think I know who you're talking about. I haven't seen him with his haircut, though.
There you have.
It wasn't cut when his hair last?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I knew he had it. Okay, so this is going to be having a little bounce back.
That's why I always see people who, like, they'll have their hair dyed and they'll be in some crazy, like, setting, and their clothes will be, like, odd or peculiar. And some people look at that and they think to themselves, look at that person being like that. And my only thought is, he put a lot of work into that. Like, there are people who, like, dress in, like, the chains and the heavy coats and the long dyed hairs. There is time and effort into that.
Yeah, they're like, fight the system. We don't want to be a part of your beauty, and then they put more effort into it than anybody else.
Be like that guy over there who just shaved his head and put on a white t-shirt this morning. He's well kept, even if he didn't take a shower. And it's just like, no, most people put a lot of work into their image, their appearance, a lot more than most. I've dyed my hair lots of times.
Well, actually, what always worries me with dyeing hair is that you're going to do damage too. There was the one Twitch streamer, wasn't it, not long ago, that they weren't really paying attention to what they were using for chemicals, and they put in the wrong cocktail, and it ended up causing all of her hair to fall out. Like, on the stream, like, it just came out completely, and she was bald. She just completely, all the hair was gone.
You would
and
fry it to do that? Just like had it under a heater or something too?
Well, it's just the not following correct instructions and stuff. But she ended up being praised a lot for it, of like saying, actually, you don't look too bad bald, and then it ended up being that, because I would pant, or at least I'm fine because I'm already losing it, so it'll just be like saving me time.
If all my hair like fell out to something like that, I'd be like, this might work for me, but I can see it not really working for a lot of people. So I already have the goatee. I'm working on that bald goatee look.
Heads up with face masks. Negates a lot of it by having it.
I'm not getting rid of my goatee. It's just not going to happen. I've had it too long. It's
clean shaved completely.
I haven't been clean shaven completely in well over a decade.
And the head too. Mohawk.
No. If I go
it'd be like a comb over mohawk.
People will start talking at that point. If you're completely shaven, people start to talk.
Well, no, a lot of you like completely shave. It's just you have never done it. You probably came out of the womb with his goatee.
You know what the talk is, right? Poor kid, leukemia.
If you shave?
If you go completely bald and shave. If you're just completely hairless.
Well, you would have to shave your eyebrows.
Yeah. I mean, we gotta go full.
And like, your eyes, and
I don't know what the eyelashes fall.
It's still hair.
Chemo.
It's if it's something that regrows, you lose it. That's the whole point of chemo, is it shuts down your body's ability to replicate cells. So your gastral lining, that's why you have stomach aches, because it can't replenish your gastral lining. And your hair falls out because it can't replenish the hair. So.
Nah, I'm gonna try to keep my hair. Even if I spent way too much money on like Rogaine that doesn't work, but I still use it. Because I fear it'll be far worse if I stop. This is... I've been using Rogaine for 6 years now. You can tell it's working right.
Where?
In my head.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it doesn't work that well. I think the only thing that would actually work is like a hair transplant where they move your back hair up to your head. But that's expensive and timely. I'm not rich. I'm rich and don't have enough free time.
Well, I'm thinking that that's going to be considered non-essential right now.
No. It's not like I was planning on getting it done anyway. Not that it's not something I would never consider. Like, if I'm in my 40s and I'm just like, the worst is when somebody like is completely bald on top, but then they have like that horseshoe around their head of hair. At that point, you just need to either shave it or work over the money.
Or not care.
You could do that, but
because it's not like you're not going to wake up the next day and realize that you no longer can breathe because you don't have hair. You can live your life perfectly fine, whether or not you have a few strands of a random protein strand up the top of your noggin.
I watched this one guy at work, my previous job. I watched him go bald, and he went bald quick, but for the longest time, he had like a little tuft of hair right here in the front, just a tiny little tuft that he was holding on to for dear life. He eventually shaved it, but that was entertaining. That's all it is. Just completely bald with this little tuft of hair right here.
You care too much about physical appearance, apparently.
Yeah, that's why I work so hard to keep myself this sexy.
No, you actually do.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
There was a reason there was like 8 sticks of butter in the fridge at one point, and then 3 days later there was none.
Because you made me stop buying it. That's the only reason.
No, you used it
fully stocked with butter all the time.
Like a tub of butter, a vat.
When I was with my parents, we had at least 3 tubs of butter in the fridge at all times. Butter emergency.
That kind of reminds me of a conversation we had. I can't remember where it was at, one of the meetups or something, where we were talking about how certain units of measure work with certain items, but not others, and how a lot of it was with liquid that like tub of butter, is fine, but a pool of butter, no, or a vat. There was ones that you could just, some of it was just, depending on what you said, it made it worse, and we kept adding different. I'm
just imagining like one of those little kiddie pools just filled with butter and just having a big old butter party.
Sure. But no, just trying to think of something that you would normally think of like a liquid, and what you would normally assign it for its like unit of measure, and then just start applying different units of measure to it, and it gets weird. That was one that we had difficulty coming up with a good one to go with that, because it all sounded bad.
A vat of ice cream sounds pretty awesome.
Like you could say a vial of blood, but a vial of butter, like a vial of soy sauce. Like, what the hell are you doing with it?
Soy sauce sounds fine.
A vial?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little odd. maybe, but if somebody said I have a vial of soy sauce up here, I'd be like, that's an odd place to keep soy sauce, man. Here, we need that.
I have a twist later, I think.
Anything plus blood, like a vial. I think the other way is flipped around. A vial of blood, he's like, that's nice, but if you have like a vat or a tub of, I have a tub of blood in the fridge. Oh no!
It's an emergency vial of butter.
Test butter.
I can't remember some of the ones we came up with, but it was pretty fun. Because we like having some of these like stupid discussions. What is a sandwich discussion is always fun.
It's fun.
Or define sandwich, define soup.
I think we came to a consensus on the sandwich, but I can't remember what it was.
We came to a consensus that there is no consensus. Because anytime anybody thinks that they have it, somebody else brings up something else, and then eventually somebody says, we have to stop this discussion. And then there's a 5-second pause before somebody else brings up another point.
Did we at least all agree that a hot dog is a sandwich?
Don't start this.
Fun. Blur, you're wrong. A hot dog is clearly a sandwich. Well, it's an inner roll.
No, you're saying that wrong.
What?
A hot dog is a hot dog. It is not a sandwich or anything because a hot dog is just meat.
Yeah.
You're saying like a coney or a hot dog in a bun.
Yeah.
That's different than just a hot dog.
A hot dog is a sandwich if that's what you're trying to figure out.
The hot dog is just the wiener.
Oh. Yeah, but... Okay.
That's like saying ham is a sandwich. No, it's when you put it between bread. Yeah, that's the same thing. No.
Okay. And when I say hot dog is a sandwich, it's well understood that I'm referring to it in the bun.
You gotta define these parameters.
No, I refuse.
Because if you don't, the stake of the world depends on it. Millions could die. No, my favorite for sandwich is a loaf of bread a sandwich.
It's a bread sandwich.
Is it a bread sandwich? And
yes.
Then there'd be people like, well, no, if it's a loaf of bread, that's not a sandwich. I'm like, well, what happens if you take the slice of bread from another loaf of bread and you put it between two different slices of bread? Is it a sandwich?
I'm fair, sir. As long as you have 2 carbs surrounding anything, it's a sandwich.
So if you have a pot full of baked potatoes or of scallions, would all those be mini sandwiches?
I mean, if you can put like 2 potatoes and you have like a carrot in the center.
No carrot. No, there's just sauce. It's just cheese.
Oh, so it's a potato cheese sandwich.
Yeah, but it would just be if it's scallions with cheese mixed in.
Well, there can't be anything on the outsides. Otherwise, there's this mess. You're gonna get your hands.
But you said any 2 carbs put together, so now you're defining extra.
There can't be anything on the outsides. Then you've thrown it off.
What about a Big Mac?
Yeah, that's clearly.
Is that 2 sandwiches?
Oh, kinda, yeah.
But then if you
you got carbs.
How do you where does the one sandwich cut into the other? Because if you take one sandwich out, you're left with an open face.
You got carbs surrounding things in this inside. That's all that matters.
What about KFC's chicken sandwich?
Yes.
That with chicken as the bread.
Yeah.
That's not carbs.
The breading is.
I don't know. It's KFC. We don't know what's in that.
Fair enough.
But then is a baked piece of chicken a sandwich?
Yeah.
Because there's breading around it.
Yeah.
So baked chicken is a sandwich.
Mm-hmm. Fried chicken is a sandwich. Absolutely. Just because they cook the bread on the outside doesn't make it not a sandwich.
It's a sandwich with 2 layers. But what was the? I'm trying to think of some of this.
It's hard for yourself.
Open face sandwich.
Mm-hmm. You fold it.
No, but before you fold
sandwich.
it.
No, that's not a sandwich until you fold it. I don't care what they call it.
It's an open face sandwich. That's what I have every morning.
Sure, it's an open face sandwich, but it's not a sandwich.
But it's the name sandwich in there.
You can call it whatever you want. It doesn't make it a sandwich.
That don't matter.
by the scientific definition of sandwich that I just came up
Scientific.
with.
After minutes of
We've had
non-peer-reviewed
this discussion
studies.
enough times for me to be confident in my assessment.
The other one, but the other one was soup. The one that always with that is
Cereal soup.
is cereal a soup?
To which the answer is yes. Yes, it is.
To me, it's hard to say no. Yes, but it's hard to say no.
What about it's not a soup? I mean, that's the better question. It's
water. Is water a soup? It has minerals in it.
Huh? I mean, it's a soup on the loosest definition, but sure.
Yeah, but
if it
the loosest definition is still a soup.
Just water, then no. If you have nothing but pure H2O in that bowl, then no.
But it's fun. I love it because there's always something that comes up about, or there's always something that you forget about and you don't think about. The whole thing with soup started because somebody was like, "What makes something a bisque?" And like you look up online, like what makes a bisque and a chowder, and there's a lot of like gray area.
Well, chowder is always cheese based.
Clam chowder.
There's cheese in it.
There's cheese in it.
Yeah, it's melted in. It's not chowder unless there's cheese melted.
What about French onion soup?
What about it?
Is that a bisque? Or I mean, is that a chowder? Is it French onion chowder?
Cheese melted in it?
Yeah, the French onion has the cheese melted on top.
It has to be mixed in.
Well, yeah, it will be.
Well, the second you mix it in,
It's
it becomes chowder. Until then, it's soup. That is the line. Is the cheese.
Yeah, just there's a lot of crossover, and really what makes a sandwich is just you can go anything a sandwich. Putting anything within anything can be called a sandwich.
Yeah, pretty much.
And in putting anything on top of another thing is called a pizza.
Mm-hmm. Well,
until you fold it, then
has
it's a
to be
sandwich.
A carb. It always has to be a carb. The carb can vary, but it has to be a carb.
So that's what it should be: is any carb with, or not even a carb, but any edible plate being used to put food on top of is a pizza. And if you put another one of those layers of edible plate on top, it's a sandwich.
It's a sandwich, yeah.
So all food is really just like 4 different things. It's like soup, pizza, sandwich, and I was just coming up with the numbers, so I don't.
We'll figure the ice cream.
And ice cream, sure. Get the zone.
Yes.
Because how do you? Well, yeah. What would you? Is ice cream soup? It can be soup.
It melts, yeah.
But then what is it? What is it before that?
Ice cream.
It's a sandwich.
Well, I mean, you have an ice cream sandwich.
Oh, Maelstrom.
But the important thing for everybody listening to take away is that fried chicken is indeed a sandwich, and don't let anybody tell you different.
I've heard some people like when you say that bread's a sandwich, they get like aggressively defensive, like, no, that is not a sandwich, and they're like, well, why isn't it? And then every argument you toss at it does not work.
You got 2 slices of bread surrounding a 3rd slice of bread. You got a bread sandwich. You just have to live with that. This is now law.
Mm-hmm. And you could also say that 2 slices of bread with air in the middle is an air sandwich.
You can't eat air.
Yeah, you can. What? And then you burp and it comes back up.
That's like... No, I'm not going to give you that. It's not food. It has to be food.
What is food?
It's the things that you consume and digest.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that there's molecules in the air that your stomach lining could, over time, digest very, very slowly. Right?
Well,
really, you could say that the evaporation process is the air mixing with the molecules. So, in a way, you are absorbing it. So, yes.
Is air a sandwich now?
I would not recommend living on an air diet.
Yes.
That would be called starvation.
Yeah.
Not to say that you're not getting calories, it's just not enough.
I'm not going to quantify the particles floating through the air as food.
Especially when people fart, because then that gets really...
Everybody's eating each other's farts all the time. This is the life we live.
It's called recycling.
Yes. That's why you have to suck in your own farts. It's not just polite, it's nutritional. Hashtag eat farts.
You can run that one if you want. I know this is going to need more on these two bones, so I'm just going to add a little more. Well, I think that's still a bit much. Split it up. She's just gonna have like a head shake. Head shakes, I like adding them because they add a lot of realism, but I hate animating them because they're like everything kind of, or animating the hair, because the further you get from the point that does the head shake, the less motion there is. So you kind of have like more at the beginning, but then the end of the hair technically is further from the point of motion, so it should have only like a shake. But I'm just gonna treat it like normal motion for now. Is this motion? Yeah, it was. Okay. I'm gonna grab this again. A little extra. Okay, going back. So the hair, I'm trying to look at it of when she goes upwards, that the hair should try to be maintaining where it was. And if she needs to pull it, so it's a little bit off, but that should be fine. Ugh, I'm like halfway. And this should also be bent a bit this way. I'll do that now. Oh. Oh yeah, I just said that. Okay, that's fine. Is that the right direction I need to go? No. So this is... Oh, that one will delay. Okay, that's fine. And then just a little bit more this way. The one thing with this quarantine I'm not liking now is I was spending time catching up on some books, and I just finished the most recent Expanse book, and so now I have to wait until book 9 comes out, and God knows when, and I'm sad. I still have a couple of other books to read, but I've been working through that series for a while now, And now I have to wait for a long time. Okay, something this is off a little bit more than I want. Maybe 2 frames a week? Oh, that's too quick then. Sense. I think this part is wrong. I played Subnautica for a while, never finished it, but
Subnautica's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to when the next one comes out, and it should be pretty soon.
There's 2 of them already out.
Although it's the second one's still in early access. It's just been in early access for over a year.
So play it.
It's not finished.
But you can help finish it.
Good. But I would rather be able to play it all the way through in the first go. Yeah, I hear it's nearly done. Like, so if I wait for like another month, it'll be out and then I'll play it. But Subnautica was a good game. I played through the first one a couple times, actually. It's a good example of a open world survival game that actually has a story you can get through. Because a lot of the open world survival games, they didn't really have a story. You just lived until you got bored.
Minecraft has a story.
Does it? Well, yeah, kinda. Eventually got one.
It's go whack trees and then keep going until you kill stuff.
Yeah.
And then it tells you that you got an achievement at the end of the achievement tree.
I mean, the technical end of the game is killing the dragon, and the.
But even that, when I was originally playing, there was no dragon.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Endermen were added.
Yeah, me too. I got it pretty early on. But even after they add the Ender Dragon, nobody cared. I don't know that many people even play that game to kill the Ender Dragon, or really ever did.
They just added an end because they needed to add an end.
I mean, they didn't need to.
People go in there to make waifu replicas and flat walled mountains and kill their friends and build nuclear reactors.
Mm-hmm. I've seen people beat the Ender Dragon in modded versions of the game, but I've never once seen somebody beat the Ender Dragon in vanilla. He's pretty tough in vanilla.
I beat the game, like the standard game before.
Oh.
The game's a different thing now than it was when I played it, though.
Yeah. I don't know, you think the Ender Dragon's the same as it used to be? But they changed the whole... I think they made his area an entirely, like, filled out world.
Yeah, I'd gotten Minecraft back when it was still being run by Mojang, because my friends were playing it. So our servers were original, very bare bones. I got it on the discounted price on pre-release.
Mm-hmm. I remember getting it the same week Redstone was added. So that was a long time ago. And it was like $5 back then. Still in alpha. Minecraft was pretty successful, and it's still one of the better sandbox building games. In part for its simplicity. It's kind of like Legos.
Well, it was pretty popular for a while, but then when Microsoft got a hold of it, they just marketed the crap out of it, and that something doesn't have to be good to be popular. It just has to be marketed enough to get its name out there to make by. It's the same thing, like the same reason, like with YouTube. Getting started is the hardest on our channel because the amount of subscribers and the speed in which you gain things is proportionate to how much you have. So the more subscribers you have, the more people to share things, and the more to get more subscribers, to get more sharing, to get more subscribers, to get more sharing. And it's the same thing with advertising. If they throw enough of it out there, people think it's popular because that's all they hear about. So then they go and play, and because then they go and play, and then they tell other people. So Microsoft just marketed the crap out of it.
I think what got me playing the game way back when was a new channel that had just started up that had two guys playing the game called Y'all's Cast.
Everybody knows Shark's Cast.
Yeah, but when I started watching them, they had like 4 videos out, and it was about Minecraft. I think they were doing something World of Warcraft related before that, but Minecraft is what made their channel blow up. I watched them and they made the game look fun, so I wanted to play it too.
That's why companies pay streamers now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll admit to playing quite a few games just because I saw streamers playing them and I made them look fun, so works.
Marketing people know that. Let's try. Let's do a delay of. Let's just do 2 frames right now. I think that might be too much though, especially for fast motion. So it's two for the one bone and 4 for the other. Okay. And I do plan to reduce its motion. I only want it to wobble a little bit, but I need to get... It's easiest to determine the speed of which it needs to move at by making it more drastic. Like this moves way too quick. Or at least it moves too quick and then stops. So we can add a little bit there. Okay, so now some of these other ones I want to do is just adding more to this little end piece. As soon as I reduce it, it's going to basically reduce its motion to almost nothing. I'm going for this high angle because it's the only way I can really see how it's actually moving. At least the only way I can see the details I want to. Okay, here she should have this go up again. Oops. It's a little bit there.
Just like the way her hooves go up. Like, woo!
If anything, I could probably keep this hair, the hair at the bottom here, more or as strong as I'm making it, but then reduce the rest of it. I don't know if I want to actually deal with the twisting of it. I might just leave it as it is for that anyway. So this I'm going to... I'll try reducing just this one, but I think I'm going to have to do both.
You know what? Shining Star eyes just kind of drift to the right, and this one as the smile gets slightly larger.
Okay, now I'm going to take this one and we're going to also do about half. Okay, I'm going to reduce this one a little bit too. Not quite the full thing though. Because if I maintain how physics would normally have a hair if it was all the way or only attached way at the top and nothing else, that would be flying all over the place with all the motion. So it's not right now about being realistic. It's about just making it feel alive, which it wasn't, as it was stiff, but now it actually feels pretty good. Because some of these motions are strong, but they're like here, I can still see your eye through there, which is fine. Some of these I don't like how it's cutting right in the middle of the eye, but it does change pretty quick. The idea is whatever the prominent eye is, I don't want that covered, and that's been fine the whole time. So, anyway, so it looks a lot better now, though. Still have to do the eyebrows, and I'm gonna hate it. And
You've been going back and forth on whether or not to do those at all.
I feel like they're needed. I just hate doing them. And it's not even the eyebrows themselves. It's when you run into a situation that you shouldn't have the eyebrows at all. What do you do with them? It's
eyebrows don't just disappear.
But yeah, they do. Well, watch the ponies in the show. These eyebrows also don't float off the back of the head like they do in the show.
They do if they're extra long.
The eyebrows are normally that whenever the eyes close, unless you're squeezing the eyes tight, the eyebrows almost always disappear into the head or disappear completely. So a lot of the eyebrows, when they go to blink,
I didn't even notice the ponies had eyebrows until Applejack raised that hers in that one episode.
They always have eyebrows, but it's normally only showing when you have emotion. Any other time they don't have them. If they need to show emotion, then they pop up. So,
they have eyebrows in like the first 2 seasons. I feel like they didn't.
Because if you look at like images of Twilight here, a lot of these there is no eyebrows, but when she's sad, one pops up. So a lot of these are just nothing.
You could probably get rid of the eyebrows and no one would notice.
But like it shows here, there are certain emotions that it helps with. It's like sadness here. It's the normal eye, but the eyebrows coming down and essentially covering up part of the eye. But anger, sadness, and surprise are the 3 that are useful. So like here, having her for anger, but then the other useful one is sad. Because if you take this whole speech and have it with anger, she looks one way, but then if you do with sad, everything gets taken a different way. So it's even with the same looking eyes. So it makes like here.
What does it look like if you just get rid of them?
And I can, but it's like with this shot right here, this looks like pleading. But then
does sound like.
But then you do this, and it changes it quite a bit as to what the emotion you're looking at is. And then the other one I do like is surprise. I usually have to be wide, especially with her eyes being so chubby. But like if you're doing the one eyebrow raised in curiosity, those are useful for that. They have concern, but really you can just use sad for that. Curve is pretty useful too. It's just a larger flat version essentially. Squeeze was one that I actually brought up. Squeeze is one I brought up to I think it was Nutrifin that originally made these when he sent these to me to play with before he released them, and I mentioned something about, well, how do you furrow the brow, like, or or if you're squinting really hard. A lot of the ponies have yeah, here, like, they'll have that little brow across the top, but or they'll have it actually through the eyes. So that was added. Despondence, useful because it's just a flat one. And then black eyebrows are always fun.
Yes, there you go. Perfect. Change nothing for the rest of the speech. Eyebrows. Look at that face right there. Yes. But having Celestia's eyebrows in times of war, they just get super stern. She's got war face on.
She put on her war brows. I just find them annoying. It's like, one of the things I liked about SFM was how everything was simple and not complex, and there wasn't a lot of levels to everything, so you could make something look pretty good without having to put ton of work into it. But then people kept adding more and more options, and every option you add is another pass you have to do, another more line of detail. And for me, I can do it, and it's fine. And there are people that do use them and to a great extent. But then you have these newer people coming in that are just learning, and the software still works the same as it did when I was there. But now they're seeing all these people utilizing all these extra tools because they've been in there a long time and they've learned them. That I think they feel like the stuff they're making isn't matching up to that. But it's only because those people started with simpler tools and were able to make good content, and now it's just the landscape's changed, and they could definitely make some good themselves, but they're never going to get there.
What have you done? You raised the bar too high.
That's the community is so bad about where when it was early on, everything was great, and then people start getting better and better, and new people keep coming in, but nobody cares about them because they see the people that are getting really, really good, and then those people start leaving and they think everything's dying, and they're ignoring all the people that were coming in and making content that was just the same and just as good as it was years ago, but they're ignoring it because they're only paying attention to the big people that have been putting years of effort into things. And
so what you're saying is that it's all your fault for not making shit. How dare you? If your work was only shittier.
No, it's the community not opening up to other things. They want to keep seeing the things that they're seeing, and anything that is not of this high level of quality, they just throw out the door. And I don't like that.
Didn't stop Hasbro.
Puninaka's models are, I still feel, the easiest to use, though I will still do lip syncing with the Juice models just as if they were the Naka models, because they have all the same flexes plus some. So I'll still do the lip syncing like normal using just those, is what I know. But I have some of those certain options that are on his are super useful. So I love being able to use his for those whenever I can. There's just different expressions you can make that, like for instance, this one.
Why is this one called Mr.?
Because she says right here.
Your days are over, mister.
So I just call it Mr. But no, at the end here with how she says this, I wouldn't be able to pull off this accent with the Naka models.
Oh, they're going to have to glue you back together.
So,
I was just reminded that two voice actor passed away. One of the two voice actors passed away. The guy who played Soldier.
oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But like some of these looks, like I would not have been able to pull off with anything but the juice stains. Like that doesn't exist outside of juice stains. The lips doing this thing they do right here.
That's cool.
So I love having those options, but generally, if I'm just doing lip syncing, I will stick to the ones I know. It's just like I think the Celestia ones here, they have a lot of these other ones. So if you go through here, lip down, neutral, pucker, mouth angry, grin, jaw open, jaw closed. Those are just the standard Naka ones. That's all I'm using for a lot of this. There's some of these ones that, like here, I throw in a little bit of careful because careful helps pull the mouth back farther in like a But other than that, yeah, I enjoyed the simplicity of it, and that's one of the reasons, like with the Rathalos model. The Rathalos model, I think, for lip syncing has 6 bones, or not 6 bones, 6 flexes, and then 6 flexes, 1 jawbone, and then 2 for the lips, or 2 on each side for lips. So 4. So it's basically 5 mouth bones and 6 flexes. That's like 11 total to deal with, and 4 of those bones are just groups of 2. So when I did that, I wanted to try to group as many different sounds in just the one group to make it easy, because I hate lip syncing, and when you're going through here trying to find the right flex just for the right look, it's annoying.
Did you post the Chicken Rathalos one yet?
Yeah, I posted that, like, I forgot when I posted that.
I've been very busy at work. I haven't been able to look. I'm sure it got to 20,000 views or something like nonsense.
Well, views are different. It's got 66,000 views, but in 8.1k likes, that's above average. So, but yeah, I did do that one.
Yes. It's an
Chicken.
angry chicken.
Like I said, the nice thing with the new Juicing ones is that they're backwards compatible. Not always. A lot of them flexes don't match up, which is why I've used some knocker models, because I can copy paste from other ones more of, but yeah. Also use the Juicing models because there is just more flexes in the face, so there just ends up being the better result, even just using the standard knocker ones. Just because there is more doesn't mean you have to use them. So, and the nice thing is, if you don't want to use them but still have the higher ones, just go into your default groups here. All the ones that were added and new, just make a group that is like that you don't care about, and just like turn off its actually just right click and say hidden. Do that. I've went through and regrouped some of these models. This is one of the reasons that, like, Pony Wings originally was under body, I believe, and I moved it out because when you're working with the model like this, I hate having I hate having it where you're looking at the model and you have all these other bones floating in the air here for like wings. And I wanted to just see the ones that I want to work with and nothing more. So that's why I split it up, so I can just go hide face, hide this, hide wings, and you turn those 3 off, and now I'm seeing just the legs and the pelvis. I'm not seeing all the extra stuff. So I modified these to fit the needs that I had to. And if I'm definitely not touching the wings, like say, I can't do it with this one, but say I actually turned off some of the wings because I'm using a different type of model, I don't want to even see that group at all. So I can just go bam, hidden, gone. Oh, that's the big flag. Okay. Okay, so I'll just leave the hair at that then. Oops. As for motion, I have, well, Luna. Is he? I thought I added some kind of a breathe to him. Maybe I did it here. Oh no, but I just have his head move. Oh yeah, because that was all I was considering needing. be here. Wow. Oh.
She's like, the edibles are kicking in. Whoa. She would be the one. I worry about her powers. Her power to make ponies fall in love. I read this really funny comic.
She's got some powers of reality phasing.
I read this one comic with her involved in it that actually got me laughing, and I've never forgotten it. Where it shows these two ponies fighting. And they're like, well, I don't want to talk to you anymore either. I don't want to talk to you. And she's like, don't worry, I'll handle this. And she casts a love spell on him. And it's like, no, I've never seen you like this in this light before. It's like, I love you. I love you too. Let's go home. Let's go home, sis. And she's like, wait, no. Oh no.
It shows that in the NLP world, free will is a lie.
Yes.
Though I'm thinking it's supposed to be that it doesn't force it on them. It helps bring out that emotion, which means that they were just from the South.
The southern part of...
They just wouldn't admit it to each other. No, they were from Kentucky.
It's just off the side. It's next to a question. It's close.
It's right to the west, right next to Equestria is just Kentucky.
Somewhere between Ohio and Kentucky, that's where Equestria is. It's easy to miss.
So how much detail do I want to put in these guys in the back? And can I steal animation?
I still don't know why Shining's not looking at Celestia's ass. It's unrealistic.
He is on the side of his eye, but he's got cameras on him, and his wife.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want him looking at her ass, and then his wife just next to him, like
just the hoof comes in from the cop camera.
Just like his eye just slowly panning over as the smile on his face just kind of increases.
Yeah, you just see the like coming off camera, and then it's like bam, 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 bam.
Against the table. Like, no. We talked about this. He's talented. Okay.
Celestia.
That's me. Remember that time I accidentally walked into your bedroom? Wasn't that funny? No.
No, it's not. Oh, there we go.
Meet the threat with our valor, our blood, indeed with our very lives, to ensure that pony civilization, not changeling, rules Equestria now and always.
What are you doing?
We must meet this to ensure that ponies.
Your wife gonna get angry.
Civilization, not changeling, rules Equestria now and always.
It's
Wait, did you put Twilight in a basket?
That is adorable. She is adorable.
She's sad. She wants out of the basket.
It's her princess basket.
No, it's not her princess basket. She wants to escape.
She's not allowed. She is one with the basket.
Poor Twilight. I'm trying to think if I can cheat his animation a bit.
You don't really need to do it too much.
I know I don't. That's why I can... But I need to have him moving, kind of. So I'm trying to think if there's a different video that has...
There's just the only one I can think of at the top of my head that you even used him in was...
I don't need to have him.
Or Big Mac.
Any
It
of
needs
them.
to be him or Big Mac, right?
No. I think I know what one to use.
Oh no. He reproduced two of my choices. He's all smushed.
There's some animation for her that's missing.
Is that supposed to be Pip? His legs got smushed.
Some of those... Yeah, they don't tie directly with the other models, but that's fine. They just readjust the height and everything, and then it'd be fine. See if maybe her stuff imported correctly.
He looks so sad. He looks like a
I feel like I missed part of the export. Yeah. The early part of the export is missing. Because there's a earlier part in the video that has them just kind of talking randomly, and I don't think I've got ported over. Because chemistry he has some parts, but it's the old shining armor. It's not the beefy leg one. Yeah, I think he's got his arm run in that one.
Well, what about Big Mac? What's his stuff import?
No, but again, it doesn't matter the model.
Well, he's all squished.
Yeah, I just grabbed his... I locked those bones and I adjust them back to his normal position. All that's wrong with them is the positioning, not the rotations. So, it doesn't... It wouldn't work for fixing if I was... didn't have him behind a desk. It wouldn't work that well. But because he's behind a desk, I'm hiding most of that stuff. It's mainly just about adding a little bit of random something, but I have to have somebody that's standing still. No. Don't have many where people just kind of talk. Oh. Did I pass it? What was that one where had a rare... Oh no, maybe I didn't export it. Yeah, maybe I didn't export it. Yeah, Prettiest Unicorn. Because that has some of the talking Rarity has, and I could easily grab that and... oh no, I don't know if that would quite even do it. For the surface isn't enough. That she's sitting. What was the stuff in this? She's still got a lot of motion. Oh, you know what? Twilight has some in here where she's not doing too much. She has a little bit of motion.
Just why don't you put Rainbow Dash in the video doing this
Hmm?
Just put Rainbow Dash in this video when I come back and flip on the chair. He's out in the audience just doing that.
He?
She. I said she. Pretty sure. She cool.
I might be able to steal some of her stuff. Like from
Twilight.
here. Interesting tidbit if you ever watched this scene. Right here, when she talks, lips aren't moving
Why?
in the original.
They weren't moving in the original.
In the actual cartoon, when she's talking in this shot, her mouth isn't moving.
Oh.
I almost did that for this too, just because. But I might be able to use that. I don't know if that's an export. Aha, it is. It's weird because I didn't import the facial stuff, so he's just kind of bouncing around.
It's just like he looks like he's been disconnected in so many ways from his soul's trapped inside of a lifeless body, and it's just like trying to fight itself way out from the center. It's like somebody is wearing his head. It's like somebody's wearing him as a skin with suit. Somebody just killed Shining and hollowed him out. Now they're wearing him as a suit. That is what this looks like.
Okay, so I think
Horrifying.
this is the little bit here that's good. And we're just going to take these two, merge them to one.
Poor Shining. The changelings aren't even trying anymore. They're just like, no one will notice. These ponies are dumb.
So this is like shining armor. Yes, for it is I, shining armor. How can I assist? I am here to help.
He's like, Shining, you look extra, you had 2 cups of... He's like, I had 2 cups of coffee this morning. That is all, princess. Didn't you used to have a horn? And all of a sudden, he's like, 1 sec. Yes.
It's kind of the voice you're using kind of makes me think of the guy from Men in Black. That was the sugar water bug guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, I need some sugar water.
Oh, this guy, this is looks like somebody's wearing a Shining suit.
Oh, he's kind of extra collapsed there. That I will fix. I thought about not fixing it, but
Just like, he's all squished.
he's like a corgi.
I'm just imagining him with tiny little legs. He's screwing around the floor.
Have you ever seen like crosses of corgis with other dogs?
You wonder how they managed.
Okay, you went a weird direction with that. If you want to start thinking about dogs doing it, you can.
You brought it up.
No, it's
Like, that's how it happens.
the cross of what what they look like when their parents are different ones.
Yeah.
You went to the act, and that was really creepy.
Well, what else was I?
But no, it's that all it ever looks like is the non-corgi dog in a corgi-sized body.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sure it's amazing. But I'm still gonna imagine a corgi trying to mount a pit bull.
it can go the other way, right?
That's just torture. Why would you do that?
No, but look at this. They just look like small versions of the other dogs.
No, look at that tiny little German Shepherd.
They're a little husky.
Yes.
Look at little puppies.
Little tiny pups.
Little retriever.
Corky retriever.
The retriever's
No.
so fluff.
See, I can't help but imagine these horrible scenarios. One of the parents had a bad time.
But the problem is, that all these dogs are going to have horrible back issues.
Oh
so.
yeah, that is the sad.
But it's okay because they're adorable.
No.
At least they will be suffering for our enjoyment.
It's awful. They are cute. It is undeniable. It's kind of like how smoking is cool. And I know that, and I don't smoke. It's horrible for you, but I can't deny the fact that it is cool.
Why are you telling people to smoke?
No, don't smoke. I clearly said don't smoke. It's bad for you.
You just said it's
It will
cool.
cause cancer. It is cool.
And don't you know how DARE works? DARE goes and tells kids not to do things so that they do it. So,
Look,
what
this
are you
is
doing?
I'm the newest member of the DARE program. That's what this is. Don't smoke, kids. It might look cool, and it might make you cool, but what's not cool? Lung cancer.
Yeah, but they don't have to
There
think
you go.
about that. That's in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so now I find the position that I like.
in the
Which has got to be
medium,
close to this. He's not even. Oh yeah, I did move him.
If you want to stop people from smoking, you need to talk about how it drains your wallet like mad.
No, people still don't care. You tell that was why DARE failed. DARE failed because all it did was tell people don't do things because it's bad for you, and in doing so, they told you all the things that it did to you, and the kids are like, "That sounds like fun."
Just what they need to do is like, hey, this shit's expensive.
Yeah, but kids don't have any. What is relative to money for them?
They poor. I knew what money
Yeah,
was.
But
That's what I didn't
you
have.
don't know about how money works until you start making an income. A lot of these kids don't have one, so money wasn't a thing for them. And if somebody goes and just gives you something because you didn't, if they got it from somebody, it was a very poor system.
Well, I had a really good system for not doing drugs as a kid. You know what that system was? I didn't have any friends. You don't.
I was gonna say your parents would whoop your ass, but okay.
No, you can't be forced into peer pressure if you don't have any peers to pressure you. The kids don't have friends. They're only hooked on drugs and alcohol and cigarettes. Stay in your basements where you'll be safe. I'm a great motivational speaker.
Never have kids.
Well, if I do, I'll make sure they never have any friends. That's for sure. They only need one friend.
What was the subtext of the show you like?
That one? Yeah, but Equestria apparently doesn't have drugs and alcohol. Well, it has alcohol.
What about the dancing pony from the Rarity episode? They were cleaning up her boutique.
The dancing pony?
Yeah, the one that basically had like the acid stuff, the stuff for the people that did acid, I believe.
I don't remember ponies doing acid.
I
mean, that would make for an amazing episode. Don't get me wrong. Pinky's always on acid.
This one.
Oh yeah, she's definitely high.
Yeah, because that was like that thing that she's got. The sucker was for something because of drugs. I can't remember what it was.
It's like LSD on the sucker or something.
Yeah.
But no, but she's super cute, so it's okay. There's another important life lesson. You can get through life pretty, no matter what you do, if you're really cute. You could just be a complete wreck, but if you're super cute, life's gonna turn out okay for you.
Okay, so I think some of this works for him.
Well, this is why I'll never understand why anybody does meth. You never see a meth addict not like just looking like their face got pulled through a thresher.
Whatever you like doing. Yeah, instead you have like.
I mean, my face got pulled through a thresher on the day I was born.
You don't do drugs. You just come from the state of cornholes and three ways.
It's really good cornhole. I don't understand what the issue is there. There's nothing wrong with cornhole in three ways. I had three-way today. It was delicious.
It was a four-way.
Yeah, I did have onions. So this is true. I did have a four-way.
By yourself.
Yeah, it was delicious.
It's called I brought all my body pillows to work.
No, they get stained. You don't want to get chili on those.
Oh, okay, good.
With our very lives to ensure that pony very lives.
Okay, something with his. So okay, I'm gonna take on this motion from him. So I'm thinking I can basically keep this as it is. It's me. I don't care about actually having him do anything specific. I thought about having him be like here or something, but
I don't think he'd be as reserved as Spitfire over there, because they're the two like military ponies. I think he's gone through life training, same as she has.
But if I had him do anything at all, it would, like with how the lighting is here, if he started like looking around or doing something else, that would pull attention, and I want to make sure that she stays the focus. So I want to make sure that any motion back here is just living motion. Like it's enough to have him breathe, but nothing more.
I do feel like he would be looking around though, because his
Probably,
mind would be set on security.
Yeah, it would be, but it doesn't mean I'm going to.
Yeah.
It's he's not security. If he was security, he wouldn't be up on the podium.
Well, his entire life has been security, so I don't think that's something you could just.
Generals don't stand up on the podiums like this for the. But there's guards everywhere.
Yeah. He's not gonna just stop being a guard just because he's not technically a guard here. He's done it his whole life.
A lot of the times they're up there to show stability and courage. If he's looking around, that shows paranoia.
That's what he's trained for. He'd have to fight his own natural instincts to not.
No, he's a bad leader.
Is he a bad leader? He's a good security guard, is what he is.
He's got a baton.
He's ready to drop if he has to.
He's not. When the people that are up there don't have to worry about that, because if there's a breach of security and something that he has to deal with, then that means that the entire military force of Equestrian Guard is incompetent, which they all are.
I was about to say, like, every time.
Of where they have to pull in the librarian from Ponyville to save the day in the first two seasons.
It's like, why do I even give you guys weapons? We look cool. You guys suck.
So they ended up being like, well, what's a better way to prevent entry into the throne room? We could put in more guards. No, geese.
Geese, yes. And it was his idea to put the geese in there, so there you go. That's him doing his job.
You know what? I'm wondering.
I think it's the one thing about the movie I would change. When it came out was just when they're being attacked. The guards should have made some kind of show. Like they did beaten aside, but it would have been nice
When the changeling attacked, there was no guards in sight. I've read different fanfics that do that more justice of actually fighting in the background.
Yeah.
I can understand that they're not going to put up a big scene with all these guards because the main focus was them.
Yeah.
And any of the guards fighting, what are they going to do to them?
Yeah.
Stab them? It's a little kid's cartoon.
They had him fight in that one episode. They just had him kick with their hooves. The one where they're actually at war with Sombra. They decided to leave their weapons home that day. But
for Spitfire, I'm actually going to do about the same thing. I'm going to load up the actual same animation.
Indeed, with our very lives.
there was a little bit of information about G5 that came out today.
Not changeling. Rules Equestria now and always.
She's really into the speech. I'm surprised you changed her animation. I kind of like what you had. But I think the one bit. Yes. She's not paying attention. She's like, Spitfire. Spitfire, no. Like, I'm having too much fun to care. Was Paris Strong confirmed Twilight was not going to be in G5? Yes. Look at the serious face, dude. She's like, yes.
Ensure that pony civilization, not changeling, rules Equestria now and always.
She's like a puppy.
Here we go.
Yeah, anybody who was looking forward to the same cast in G5 is going to be disappointed.
And always.
Her Highness Princess.
The hip hop.
Oh. I don't think that's gonna work.
Spitfire? I think she works out fine.
No, I was trying to load Spike's animation on, but none of the bones match up.
I like the whatever animation you already had on her. You had the animation from Rarity on her. You had the animation from Rarity on her already.
Not here. That was in the previous shot. That's in this one. She's set to look around a little bit. But there was nothing for her here. Oh, she's got Twilight's alicorn positioning.
Oh, that's why her ears look like they're being ripped off.
Was that too? She's just droopy. I'm sad. But no, yeah, no, her neck's longer. It was right here.
To ensure that with our valor, our blood.
I think I'm gonna grab some of this, but I'm going to slow it down and I'm gonna really reduce it.
Now and always.
Hey, Jurassic.
Hello, Jurassic. I forgot this is not gonna work for that. So let's do that. That's a good positioning for her.
Meet the threat with our valor, our blood. Indeed, with our very lives.
You know, same as everyone else, avoiding the plague. So far.
Yeah, doing our best to ignore the plague, but it is a plague. I think it's fine just going right here. So we're gonna play ahead that by 2/3, and then smooth it a bunch.
I think I've been a little bit lucky because I actually have to go to a different building for work. I'm alone there too, but at least I think I'm going a little bit stir crazy, but it's probably worse for you. I said I'm going a little bit stir crazy being at work by myself, but I'm thinking it's probably worse for you because you don't even get out of the house during the day.
Yeah, it's a little annoying, but I would like if I had to work away from the office, not from home. I would like to just take my laptop to a coffee shop because it's separate from home. Home is where I just am unproductive. I don't have the mindset to just keep working on stuff. If I'm away from everything, I'm way more productive. I used to do that for college. When I was doing college online school, I would go to a coffee shop every night for 2 hours, and I would work from the Wi-Fi. I would get a coffee, which was $1.50 for a small coffee, but I would bring my own mug, and they give you a flat 50 cents off, so it was $1 for unlimited refills of coffee. And I would just go there and get for 90 cents a night, get unlimited amount of coffee to sit and do 2 hours of homework because I was away from everything. They got to know me by first name basis because I was there 2 hours every night.
When I was going to school, I was close enough to the school that I would go to the library to do my homework. Mainly because I was living in an apartment, didn't have cable, didn't have heat, didn't have air conditioning, so it was miserable. Couldn't afford internet. So really the only place I could go was to the school to get my homework done and have internet access. These were trying times. Working part-time at Kroger's. Just to try to pay some basic living expenses. Hope that helps.
This week is pay week.
Oh. I don't even keep track of what my pay week is. Luckily, I don't have to live paycheck to paycheck like my parents did.
I like
My parents still
pay
do.
week though because it can determine how much if I get if I have things go over a certain amount, I put all the rest to a mortgage, and it's nice to like dump extra money on it.
No, I just put that $15,000 into stocks.
12.
It's 15. 12 into the IRA, and then the other 3
okay,
into
that was what it was.
individual stock. Which I'm hoping to build that up enough so that I can what I want to try to do is take the stock, put 3,000 into that stock, individual stocks, and then hopefully increase that so that the next time I can put more money into my IRA, I can just pull it directly from there. It'll be a nice way to build up at least some support to a retirement. I need more than that, though. No, I do.
No, you don't, because you'll not get there.
I mean, in all likelihood, no. But, Turnip stock?
I get what you're saying.
It's a soup joke.
No, it's an Animal Crossing joke.
Oh, I thought he had soup stock. Turnips. I don't know Animal Crossing jokes. Do I look like somebody who plays Animal Crossing to you?
Have you seen RT Games lately?
No.
That's his thing.
Animal Crossing?
Well, he was playing Animal Crossing, but he was betting all of his money on turnips.
Ah.
And then he eventually had it pay off, so he made a lot of money, and then he invested all of it back into turnips.
Wise man. Buy turnips.
Yeah, we were playing Monster Hunter before. Probably we'll get back to it eventually, but there's just other games that came out too.
Yeah, I was like I was pushing level 60, I think.
I just realized that it probably should fix this for this shot.
Oh, yeah. You got that big...
For this shot it works, and this shot. But now that I think about it, I can't actually fix that star in this shot.
There's so many other games I want to play besides Monster Hunter right now, and I can't even motivate myself to play them. So, I don't know.
You're already harder than us, because we're trying to get 4 people to stay together on a lot of the main quests, so all of us are we're not even through the main story or anything. Our master rank has been slow gained.
I think people are just starting to...
You're farming a lot of stuff, but it was farming stuff that when we didn't have 4 people on, and they would do a couple of main quests, and yeah.
Final Fantasy VII came out.
But we had Borderlands before that too.
Yeah. I don't even remember what I was playing when you guys were playing Borderlands.
We were playing that up till a couple days ago.
Playing back Black Mesa.
You don't remember what you did like a couple days ago?
I beat Black Mesa, and then I started brawling ponies. And then I did that for a couple days. And then, I don't know, over the weekend I did anything. I don't think I was playing any games anyway. I think I was just watching this good videos. I heard the new Doom is pretty good. We have one friend who's having trouble playing it. Yes, I beat the full version of Black Mesa, and I beat it on hard mode because I am pro awesome like that.
Pro gamer.
Yeah.
Pro awesome.
Pro awesome.
That,
That's a large, like, I'm
that
pro
sounded,
at games and just being awesome.
That sounded like wait,
pro awesome. You're just jealous because you ain't pro awesome.
No, what was that one meme? The hello fellow. What was that one?
Hello, fellow.
No, with Buscemi.
Oh, hello, fellow kids.
Yeah, there was a. Yeah, this is Michael.
Yes, I still love that shirt. I want that shirt. I legit want that shirt. Music.
You're just like, I am. Hello, fellow kids. Are you pro awesome? I am pro awesome.
I totally am. I'm tubular, man.
LOL, my bros.
Yes, the memes, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt me inside.
Dab.
This is how you dab, right? Like this. This is how it goes. This is dabbing. I'm dabbing.
I don't know. I would say I lost respect, but that you went so low so many times that it's just the bucket's empty.
Once you hit rock bottom, you can't go any lower. No, Zen was cool. It was beautiful.
I need that beer too.
If I had any criticism for Zen, some parts felt like they dragged on a little too long. But it was so visually nice to look at that I didn't mind it so much. So yeah, Zen was good. The whole game was good. Though admittedly, the best part for Half-Life 1 was always everything before Zen. So, the stuff in the actual facilities far more interesting. Because you're actually interacting with other characters, which helps drive a narrative. When you get to Zen, it's pretty much you're just rushing to the end. I don't know if the world was better built. I liked the stuff in Zen that they added in Black Mesa regarding the science teams, clearly showing the science teams had been there a while and had set up like research bases. And I loved the HEV suit zombies. Those were just awesome. Just listening to the HEV suits like air out, trying to figure out what the heck's happening to the person inside the suit. I thought that was cool. And that was another thing I liked about the Zen is just the they put more emphasis on showing that the Vortigaunts were slaves. They weren't doing anything of their own free will as far as attacking Earth. Were you?
Her Highness Princess Celestia announces
Black Mesa is one of those examples where somebody says, I want to play Fallout or Half-Life, where should I start? I don't think I would say Half-Life 1 anymore. I think I would say Black Mesa. Start with Black Mesa. And heck, I might say start with Black Mesa and then the next game you should play is Alex. But we'll see. Haven't played Alex yet, so.
It's good.
Did you beat it?
No, I probably have like 5 hours into it. Some days I feel like I might play a little bit, but I've been playing Final Fantasy mainly, and I like VR games are exhausting after a couple hours of having this weighted thing on your head, so I tend to play for a little bit, but then take a break.
Yeah. The thing about opposing forces in Blue Shift is Blue Shift actually adds some narrative that helps in Half-Life 2. Like, if you play Blue Shift, you learn a little bit more about who Barney Calhoun is, and it helps with the narrative. Opposite Forces is a better game than Blue Shift. Blue Shift is arguably kind of the worst of any of the Half-Life stuff. But Opposing Forces doesn't really add any narrative. So, you can go through all of Half-Life, never play Opposing Forces, and really never lose anything. Yeah.
Cadence and Twilight are gonna have.
Well, somebody already did that. Plus, somebody already imported Half-Life 2 into Source 2. So they did play Half-Life 2 with the VR as Alex or something. Just you mentioned something about that? Where you said you could play as Alex in Half-Life 2. You mentioned something.
It was a very messy port that was unstable. A person just made it 5 hours, but that was it.
Yeah, well, that's a start.
But it'll be more than a port. It's not a simple thing. It was the person's putzing with it, but it was more. It was not easy.
Yeah.
And it was messy, and a lot of the scripting was gone. So
I mean, they never got synergy to 100% work for Half-Life 2. Once you got past the airbud section, it started crashing left and right.
no. So theirs is fine because they're tall. They are short though.
Yeah, I should have my own VR headset here in the next month or so. I'm waiting on the index. I'm in line.
Announces plans for a counter-offensive.
So I put these markers here because I want to have, or everything before this point on the people at the desks doesn't matter. So I can, at this point, you can still kind of see Shiny's head. So I got to keep him what he's doing, but everything after this I can then have them. What I'm probably going to be is just looking forward. She's going to probably be still stoic looking forward. He's just going to be stern but looking around. She, I think, is going to look forward but kind of still glancing at her. And Twilight pissing herself. I don't know.
She should look nervous or sad. Like, she should have a look.
But I don't know.
She should look upset.
Should she?
Yes.
For your headcanon, but whether or not the story is or
Well,
not.
I'm thinking it's my head. I'm thinking how would Twilight react to this situation?
You don't know because there's a lot of information in
Twilight.
regards to all this that I don't know. And, like, I thought with Luna that she was going to be sad, but that was not what I was told.
Luna wouldn't be sad.
No, well, because of other things that are going on. So I'm not making those decisions. I am not choosing an emotion for anybody other than stoic unless I'm told otherwise. Because otherwise I probably am going to get it wrong.
Like, the look on Twilight's face right now is the look I kind of expect.
That was from here. That was this look. Doesn't matter from here. And this shot she's not going to be in. I just copy pasted her from the other shot. But and then I have to. That one. It's going to be messy because I don't really have anything done that
We're
way.
asking the all-important question.
Oh, this is for a short bit parody thing for Prince Whatever. So it's a play on Starship Troopers.
In Manhattan.
So we have the. I never actually finished this audience.
The Equestrian Council.
Yeah, they're all these ones are doing their random motions. And these ones are over there just sitting stoically looking forward.
In Manhattan, the Equestrian Council convenes.
So I forgot I gotta finish them up too. But yeah, if you've seen his Reimagined series, I think they got 2 videos out. It's a part of that.
Look at all those poems. So many of them need to be booped. No, not those. Not those 3. Why'd you put 3 of them together? It's like the worst part of the audience now.
Boop.
No,
Boop.
gross.
Boop.
His nose is like 50. Oh, that's cute.
Boop.
No.
Boop.
No.
Boop.
Stop looking at that one. It's gross. It's even worse
Boop.
upside down.
Boop.
It looks like
Boop,
something
boop,
from
boop.
G 3.5. It's the face of Scootaloo. 3.5 Scootaloo.
I gotta undo the zoom. There it is. Back to the real world. Boop.
No.
Okay. But I am done for today. It's after 8, so. But those videos came out a while ago. Last year or sometime, I can't remember. Anyway, I'll be back Friday, do more stuff, all that. And yeah, continue and stuff. Have a good week. I think Blurred. Bye bye. Have a kitty.
Bye all. Meow, meow.
And behave. Go see you too, Jurassic. See you later.